Check it out, friends. Today we have a new tool for the shop. It's the Skil 6.2 amp 10-inch drill press. And today we're going to unbox it, assemble it, then we're going to do a small project with it and show you all the specs. Let's go. All right, so first we have the instructions. Heavy cast iron. Start off by taking everything out of the bag. This has some light oil on it. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
That just goes right in there. Make sure that's seated all the way. So now that the head's put on, we just need to tighten 2 screws. All right, now we gotta assemble the feed handles. Now we're just going to tighten a little bit with a wrench. All right, I don't think those are going anywhere. All right, so the last thing we need to do is install the chuck. So far it's been going really well. I think that's it, we're ready to go. All right, Leo, what do you think? Do you like it? All right, so we're gonna test this out for the very first time. We have this drill bit. Let's install it. Now we're gonna tighten it down. I was thinking I need to find a place to store this, but I think is that what this is right here? Oh yeah, right there. There's my storage. I like that. All right, so right now we're ready to get started. And I recommend making sure this is lined up so the drill bit goes right through the hole there. If not, your drill bit's gonna hit that table. Tighten it down, it's not gonna wiggle anywhere. Then go ahead, take your piece of wood right there. I'm just gonna clamp it down. Nice and solid. There's the LED light. You can see there's the laser. The laser it's very close. I may need to adjust the laser to the right just a little bit. But for right now, it's very close. I'm happy with it. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Success. And there's the result of the very first one. Nice and clean. Very happy with that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this real quick. But looking at this, if you want to have the slowest position, it looks like right now I'm at 610 RPMs. If I move the belt, so the belt's on the very top going across that small one and this large one right here, then we move up to 2900 RPM. So I just loosened this right here, and I can push that motor in. That just takes a little tension off the belt. So I can just put that, I'll put it right in the middle. Would be an interesting thing to see. Now let's see what kind of speeds we have here. So we've just gone from 610 to 1500. Oh yeah, that's really fast. That makes a big difference right there. All right, let's just see how this drills at that speed. Much better. All right, so you might notice I'm wearing something different. We're actually into day 2 of this review. So I spent a little bit of time last night thinking of what I want to cover in here. So there's a couple different things. So first thing I want to do is show you how we're going to do the adjustment of the laser. So I read the instructions. So in case you're considering getting this or you have one, you want to know how to do it, stay tuned. So I have this board right here that I've been practicing on. There's a little black dot. So I'm going to line that up, the point of that drill bit So here's one of my other wood bits just like it, so you can see how there's that fine point on it. So this is going to work really well for getting that lined up. So we're going to clamp this down. All right, I'm going to take a video with my iPhone right here so you can just see where that little dot is. That's where the laser should line up. And you can just see the laser needs to go to the right just a little bit. So right here is the cover that I need to take off, and that's where you do the alignment. All right, so I didn't notice that there is a laser on this side and a laser on this side. So I have to take both screws off. All right, so this is the housing to the first one. They say to mark an X on there, but I think I can do it with the dot. We'll see. All right, so this is interesting. Right here, if I rotate that, you'll see how it rotates that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right. All right there. Okay, so now we're on the opposite side. I just loosened that, and you can just see I have that lined up perfect. Now check this out as I lower this down. Boom, right there. So now that I have the laser lined on here, I want to show you a couple ways for doing the depth stop. The first way to do the depth stop is you can adjust the table right here. So this is where you loosen it. When we go to the final depth, let's say we don't want to go all the way through that board. So then you can go that way to lower it, go this way to raise it up. So if you want to go to that spot right there for your depth, you're not going all the way through the board, then you just tighten it down. And if you want to make multiple holes at that same depth, then you're all set right now. Then you just have to adjust your board. Okay, so there's another way to adjust the depth besides moving that table down there. Right here, this is another depth stop as well too. So let's say you want it to go to only that point right there, then you lower that right to it. See how that works? That stops that little collar right there. But the thing is, you need to lower that one down and it gives it some friction. Otherwise, when you turn this on, the vibration will make this rattle and you'll lose your position. So these two together kind of tight, that holds them in place. But you also want to keep an eye on it too, just to make sure that it doesn't travel for some odd reason, like if you didn't get it snug enough. So those are the two ways. It's really a pretty simple setup, very easy to use. So if you want to tilt the bed right here, I found that a 3/4 inch wrench right here loosens that nut right there. And then if you want to tilt it, you can do that. So in order to square it up, there's a little 0 right there, and then there is a scale. I'll show you with my phone here. All right, so on the table right there, there's the 0, and then there is the scale right there. So you can line that up. Then also in the instructions here, it shows you if you want to make sure that the table is square to the head, it involves getting a combination square out and doing it that way. So I'm not going to show you in this video, but it's quite simple in the instructions right here. So the drill press can really come in handy for several different things. So besides using the bits for either wood or for steel, you can also do some other woodworking projects like hooking up a drum sander like this right here. So one thing I highly recommend is making sure this is bolted down to your workbench. If it's not, then it could easily tip over. It is, a little top heavy. So in this video, I didn't mount it down because it's just temporarily out here. I am making room in my garage right there. I'm also working on getting a bandsaw next to it, which I think is going to be really handy having. These two together are really handy tools to have. And as I was going through my toolbox looking for this, I forgot about some of my Forstner bits right here. These are actually some of my favorite right here. These are just really so nice and clean. So this one is probably close to an inch and 3/8, yeah, bigger. So I'm gonna hook this up and we're gonna see how this works. All right, so here's a chunk of treated 4x6. Let's clamp that down. All right, let's give this a try. All right, let's change the depth stop right there. Forgot I had the depth stop down quite a ways. Yeah, that just gives you really nice control. That's amazing. Yep, if you're wanting to see nice and clean, yeah, these bits are a little more money, but man, they really do a nice job. All right, you know, that definitely did a great job. Let's just see the speed that we're on. So earlier today, I adjusted the belt up one, so we are at 2050 RPM. So it really, I think, did a great job. It never really bogged down at all. It just kept powering right through it. So very happy with all that. So here's a chart so you can just see what speed they recommend with wood and the size of the bits and things like that. So they don't have one for this Forstner bit, but somewhere in the higher speeds what they recommend. And I'm glad to see this didn't bog down at all. So happy with that. So you can see there are a lot of shavings that came off that in just a short amount of time. So I have a slight change of plans. I was hoping to fit a small woodworking project in with this, but I'm going to actually push that back till this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And what I'm going to do right now is go through the specs so you can see exactly how this performs. So this has 5 speeds between 610 and 2800 RPM. Has the laser alignment system, which you've seen. It has adjustable table height for easy depth control. Has a powerful 6.2 amp induction motor to power through wood, metal, and other materials. And it has a LED work light, which I noticed last night did a great job lighting up the whole surface area. And then it has an adjustable depth stop for accurate and consistent depth during drilling. And then when it comes to the warranty, 3 years. Okay, so now I'd like to know what you guys think about this Skil benchtop drill press. Put your comments down below. I really look forward to hearing from you guys. And just let me know what you think. If you have any more questions on it, if you want to see something else demonstrated that I left off, I can put that in my next video, which I mentioned is going to be a small project for my shop over there. It's something that I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want it to be a surprise. It's something I think is going to make your workflow that much more efficient. Something I wish I would have done years ago. If you're into the Skil brand of tools, I have recently reviewed some pretty awesome items. So if you want to check those out, I have a short playlist that I put right over here for you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to see my next project with this right here, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so yet, so that way you can be notified when that comes out. So that's it for now. Have a great day.